and one, and boom, and Google's fast. Google's on the edge this morning. It's like, yeah, you're going to go live straight away. We have Sam, we have Will, we have NSV, we have Brent, we have, and I think also Nimit, or it might be somebody else. And it's Alishan. Greetings to Alishan. This is the Martin Fowler Scrum. It's a Friday morning. We go round and sort of quickly check in what we're doing, what we're blocked on, what we might be doing in the future. Things I've recently been doing, I'll go first. I'm very pleased actually. I've created a series of videos for the NHS Wiki paid project, which are like help videos for like how to use the wiki. So that's something that the NHS team have been asking for a while. I'm pleased to get those done finally. Room for improvement, but there we go. Also, more feedback from the Anthony Powell Society, their membership database, made those changes, and I have now got them as per our milestone, an alpha version of the membership database. So that's the two main paid projects for Agile Ventures at the moment, kind of under control. Pretty much. I still have outstanding a lot of reports to write. Yay, joy! And other things. Yeah, I'm hoping we're getting to the bottom of this 500 error issue on website one. At least I've got a new set of stuff to push out there to instrument it. I guess I can't immediately think of a solid technical block other than not having a time machine who's a time machine? Just something with pause time and allow me to catch up would be good. Things that are coming up, plans to do. I'm going to be running the React mob at the top of the hour, and then we've got the MOOC, that's Agile Dev mob, at the top of the hour after that. And then there's the async voter catch-up meeting on its new Friday slot. That's me. Brent was in first. Brent, how are things going with you?
Yeah, I made some good progress on the click tracking piece of work yesterday for local support. So that's now working. There's just a few remaining tasks to do. So unfortunately, it broke some of the existing tests because obviously the links are changed now. So I just need to go through them and fix those additional tests. And then I want to add a new test as well. And if we've got time at the end, I just want to sort of ask your opinion on that. About how we can test a certain thing and whether it's right to do it in Cucumber or maybe in a unit test.
Totally.
So yeah, we also fixed the deprecation issues. Yeah, so when you run Cucumber on local support, so that I put that pull request in last night. So that is good. I've working on the MOOC, and I've got the MOOC mob this afternoon, and also the async voter as well. Yeah, that's me. No blockers.
All right, great stuff. Thank you, Brent. Let's go on to NSV. How are things going with you, NSV?
Yeah, I'm working with the Rails 5 upgrade, and the thing is, right now I have to figure out why the Cucumber tests that are failing. I'm struggling with that. So any kind of help with that, it will be like.
Totally. We can look at the end together, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And apart from that, no.
All right, great stuff. Yeah, well, let's just chat at the end. Thank you, NSV. Let's go on to Will. Hey, Will, how are you doing?
Hey, good, thanks. I'm just turning up to say hi, really. I've been working on my teacher training application personal statement, so that's taken up my thoughts today. That's all. I've been thinking more about the Ethereum mob programming next week, but that's all gonna. I'm happy with it. That's gonna be able to go ahead. So no problems, no blockers.
Fantastic. Yeah, I have a question about the open source thing that might go behind that mob, but I'll ask you at the end. Yeah, good show. Okay. We've also got a new attendee. We've got Alishan. No requirement for you to join in if you don't want to, Alishan. It's the first time. But if you wanted to share anything about things that you're doing, things that you're working on, things that you might be stuck on, we're all ears.
Yeah, hi. I'm Alishan from India, and I'm a student. I had no clue that this was a speaking thing, so I'm not prepared.
No problem at all. Sure. Well, you're studying computer science, programming, Ruby on Rails at all? What technologies are you looking at?
Ruby on Rails, Node. I've learned the thing. Now I'm trying to build my own applications.
Wonderful.
I'm starting with a sample icebreaker application where you can just invite people. and they can answer the questions that you have asked them. And yeah, that's about it for now.
Wonderful. Are you aware of the course, the online course that's often associated with this Agile Ventures? It's the edX Agile Development using Ruby on Rails.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Just not, and you're not required to use it, or just, but yeah, particularly if you're interested in Rails, this is kind of, many people come to the Agile Ventures through this free online course. So since you mentioned Rails, I just thought I would draw your attention to that. It's currently running in a sort of self-paced mode, so all the materials there are free if you're interested in it. I'm one of the instructors on that. But yeah, but there's no requirement to take that course. There's lots of Rails projects going on. I think the ones we're going to discuss, local support in a minute, are all Rails things. So just feel free to sit back and you know, absorb information, and you can contribute or get involved when you're ready.
Yeah, thanks.
Wonderful, great to have you with us, Alishan. Well, I just what I was going to do there actually, since we've got Will, is just going to ask very quickly about this block party. So this is the open source project that you were thinking of using as the basis for the new blockchain mob, right, Will?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, I think that's, you know, fantastic. The thing that I was just, it's interesting. It seems to have an interesting thing where it's like people pay like a small deposit when they register, and then you lose your deposit if you don't turn up. So there's kind of a gamified aspect to this. And I wondered, just, is that, do people have to pay with like real ether in order to actually take part in the system?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we wouldn't use real ether when we're making it. We just use test ether.
Right.
But yeah, the idea is that if you don't turn up to a meeting that you said you want to go to, then you lose out monetarily. I guess it's because the organizer of this meeting was paying for rooms and people weren't turning up. So it's just a deposit, and the people who go get, you know, get their money back or more if other people don't turn up. So
right. So it adds an incentive to attend. Yeah, which sounds like a great little app. Although I guess, so this would use like Chrome extensions and so on, but we would do it on a test ether network. So there wouldn't be a requirement that anybody needed real ether in order to actually participate.
No,
we sort of do it as a test run. That sounds very, very reasonable. Although given, I mean, it drives me sort of nuts the extent to which people put their names down for attending things and then don't show up is I can certainly relate to the motivation for this person generating this this system. Good stuff. Well, I do hope we can get that mob on a time slot that I can join in. It sounds fun and exciting. Great. Well, I think that's our mob then, unless anybody else has any other stuff that we need to coordinate at a group level. So now people are free to, you know, pop off, or you know, if they want to grab a pair partner and go and do other things, that's fine. But we had two outstanding issues there. So Brent, you had one thing you wanted to ask a question about. They had like a particular kind of test. I don't know if you want to share your screen. I suspect that your thing might be shorter than NSV's Rails 5 upgrade, which may be more complicated. So maybe we'll look at your one first, Brent.
Yeah. I've not really got anything to share. It is just a question.
Oh, we'll go right ahead.
Yeah. So in Minitest, they had this concept when you're testing it that you could like open a transaction. You could do something, and then you can check if the database had increased, or you know, the number of records have increased and things like that. But I can't seem to find a similar thing for our spec. Because what I want to try and do is with the click through thing is when somebody, you know, in the cucumber test maybe we click on a link, and we check that link is getting redirected and stuff, but I want to make sure that it also adds an entry in the database.
Yes. So I think we do have that. That there is a lot of expect to change by thing, which I'm just trying to find now.
I must admit I didn't spend a lot of time looking, but I did have a quick look and couldn't find anything.
Maybe they deprecated it, but I think this is the idea, is that you would have a block, and then you would I don't know if they've got rid of it. I think we've probably got an exact change. There's a change matcher there. 3.7. There we go. This is, I think maybe they just changed it. Anyway, but so you can make statements like this. So you can expect, and then you pass a bigger. You can pass a block of the thing that happens, and then you can say, I want some thing to have changed by, you know, from something to something or by a certain amount. So
Okay.
I think that's probably what you're looking for.
It does look like it. Yeah, that's great. That answers my question. I'll have a play with that over the weekend.
You are most welcome.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, good stuff. So and then NSV, yeah. So you've got we've got the branch, I guess.
Yeah, I can share my screen if you want.
You certainly can. Yeah, please go right ahead and do that. I'm going to also pull down your branch and see if I can replicate some of the error messages.
Yeah, I know where is the error. For example, here, with this feature. Can you see it?
I'm just switching to your screen. It's bouncing around. Give me a second. It's locking onto the camera onto your screen. So you're yeah. There's and I visit the show page for the organization name friendly, and it's giving wrong number of arguments, given 3, expected 2. Okay.
And the problem is here, and I think that it's with device, and I've been reading a lot about it, but I couldn't find really. So here it will stop here in this controller, organizations controller. And if I try to do, for example, current user, here, current user, it will trigger the error. That is why I thought that it was something related with device, and I've been looking for it, but I really couldn't find it. And I don't know if it is something that I have to change because we have upgraded the from Rails 4 to Rails 5. And I don't know. I'm stuck like here.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And the one thing in the background is I know, well, this is actually a different website. One, there's kind of a blockage that we've got on upgrading device, but I'm not sure. Maybe we didn't have that problem on local support. I think so. The thing that I'm tempted to do here, actually, now, which can you just tell me the particular test that you're running? So I'm going to replicate this.
Yeah, sure.
Locally. I think I've just pulled out your branch. So I should just do Nicola.
I will paste it in our Hangout chat.
Yeah. Oh, great.
That one.
There we go. Thanks. Yeah, let me grab that. Okay, yeah. So we've got this RVM use 2.2. I'm defaulting to 2.4.2 at the moment. Let's roll. No, defaulting to 2.0.1. Yeah, really glad we were able to fix up that deprecation warning yesterday in the local support meeting. Overnight, I was reflecting. I wondered if I was kind of being too prescriptive in telling other Nick about how to go about the particular feature, and I'm agonizing about. I should have, teased out a direction more from him, but yeah, I'll keep beating myself about that as we go forward. So we've got here, yeah. So they've got precisely the issue. Organization controller RB34. Let me get Ruby mine up. I should be able to do mine from here. Yeah, and then current. Now, so have we as part of this process? Have we upgraded the devise gem as well?
Yep.
So we're on a new version of the devise gem. Now, all of the R specs are currently passing. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Okay. So current user. Now, I'm just struggling to remember if that's provided by devise or if we have a something that's supporting that. I guess since it's not giving us a line number, it certainly seems like. Oh, let's get rid of all these. Come on. Come on. I just rebooted my computer. It is easier than it was, but I just think I need a new computer. Assets controllers. What was that? It was telling us it was in organizations controller.
Yep.
And line 34. Yeah. So this is where you were. So there's. At this point, we try to go to current user, and so yeah, have a. It's interesting here. If I'm using the RubyMine thing here to try and go to, we've got, it seems, some services that involve. Maybe that's completely unrelated. We've got here in this. I think that's probably completely unrelated. Organizations controller here, I would say. current user, is that a devise method?
Yeah.
I think that's what you were suggesting. We can go and
Well, that is what I thought, because, for example, if you declare a model that is user and you use it with device, it will be a method that device provides. So, yep.
yeah. So we just have a look through in here. They clearly do use it, whether it's defined. Because defines methods like current user. So it certainly seems like it is being, but they've got tests in devise that check for it. So yeah, what would be interesting would be to find if they have it. There's only 10 places in the code, so we can see that's all in the test lib. That's helpers, and then readme. So presumably, let's have a look in here. User currently signed in. Apparently, it generates that method, but we can't even see it directly. The other thing that we can do that I find is quite handy, we can do bundle. I guess because that test ran here, we're on that. We can do bundle open devise here. I don't know if you've seen this operation, and if you've got the right kind of text editor set up, you can kind of go in, and so this is shows me there that we're in devise 4.3. So we can just have a quickly look in, and of course, so the documentation of what's in the GitHub repo may always end up being slightly different from what's actually happening. So this is here the same thing. The controller helpers is telling us that it's going to create the current user. We've got here. This is the point in the README. For the current signed-in user, this helper is available. Yes, so we'd expect to see that, and then the rest that mention it are only. Yeah, so we've got this kind of tricky thing here where it's using metaprogramming to insert this helper, and then we don't get any information further down in the stack trace about what's going wrong there. Tricky. So the thing that I'm tempted to do, we could, we can look in here. It's like, I guess that the fact that it's doing this and it's not mentioning current user in here, I think implies that there is gone.
There will have the error, because by using debug, debug, dig that. I've been digging into the code.
Oh right, fantastic. Yes, and so you kind of you did by bug here or whatever, and then step.
Yeah.
Okay. So you found the place in the device code where the error is actually thrown.
Yeah, where you were just.
Yeah, because I think how it works is it depends on whatever the model is. So if the model was a car, it would be current_car.
Right. Yes.
So so it depends what you call your model. So I'm assuming that current user should work because we called our model users.
Yes. Yeah. So if we've got in here, we've got this series of things, but yeah. So the step, right. So it steps into here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So then presumably this is we've come in. It's here, yeah, because it needs to run this first before it does anything else. So it comes in here, yeah, no, it gets into precisely in here, and then so you've stepped in further into there.
I'm just wondering, when you first install devise, you have to run some like initiation scripts, don't you? I wonder because we've upgraded to 5 if you need to rerun those.
Very possibly.
That is a good question.
Yeah, the thing that I was gonna, I think that's very possibly what we need to do. The thing that I was gonna do as well, I was gonna find the error message again, was that we're getting this error message. Is that I was just gonna go and see if this error message is being reported in the devise issues by somebody, which I often find is things that maybe sometimes don't show up on the what are they called, Stack Overflow.
I'm looking for that error, and it appears, but it's not. Yeah, it's that one.
Oh, okay. So someone's mentioned that they've had the same problem, and they're getting a detailed stat trace there. Okay. So someone mentioning here that it's like a cookies, or somebody had a cookies issue. Although, given that we're running a test framework, that seems ridiculous, irrelevant, doesn't it? Well, and I wonder though, there is because we're using VCR, right? I wonder if VCR is stashing the cookies as well, like it's sort of acting like a kind of browser there.
I don't know.
But that is interesting. The other thing I also tend to do here is take the closed off and see. So that was everyone. This was a closed one, right? So I mean, that sort of, I mean, you know, that's still a pretty generic error message,
yeah.
But it's serialized from cookie. That someone's saying, and what version of device are we on now? It's like 4 point. We were just seeing that in this. It's 4.3.0. So that, I mean, that's all from last year. So so what we might do, for example, is if we look at this test now, which is this, that's the thing, but the test that we're actually running, that's not what I want to look at. I want to look at this here. The test that we're actually running here is admin delete charity feature.
Yeah.
So if we go and look at the features, admin delete charity feature. Now that doesn't, now that has VCR in it. Now what number are we? It's 23. So it has VCR in it. So what I could do here is quickly take the VCR off. So I can let's take the bybug out there. I've saved that. This is a bit of a stab in the dark. I mean, I think if it was a common one that other people were encountering, and like as Brent was suggesting, that you know, maybe that you need to rerun the devise automated kind of generation things.
Yep.
I would sort of expect other people to be encountering that issue and seeing that described there. The fact that we've got this other, I mean, it still might be worth it doing it. It's certainly worth a try if this doesn't work. What I'm wondering is just like, oh, has some cookie been stored in the VCR? And so by taking VCR off that thing, it should run and actually definitely hit the network, but we still get the same problem. So that's interesting. Then, which makes me think that perhaps it's more likely that what Brent says is the thing to try.
Okay.
I mean, I guess in stepping down, did you get to the point and saw that it was actually like a cookie method that was giving this error? Did you kind of like?
No, I didn't find out.
You didn't get down that far. So then I guess we've got, it's the question of like devise installation process, and that's probably described here. How do we get set up? Like, is there some? Yeah, okay, this one here.
I can try and run it again. I will be working today on that, so.
Yeah, I just thought I'd run that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. I guess we're not necessarily going to have any more insights as a group here, but yeah. So we get this thing with the devise initializer. We've got this. Can we show the diff? So. Doesn't look like that's so fantastically different, although you never know. I mean, I think we've got some changes that we've made to the specific, but yeah, there are various bits and pieces there. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of little bits and pieces that could be doing there. Let's just see what else it's. Let's go on. There's locales. Just gonna go through. There you go. And then devise views. So there's a lot of places there, and there's a lot of you know, like things that are specific to our app that we've set. Like, so for example, like the time limits and this, that, and the other. That if we just blow them away and overwrite them, then we start changing the you know, configuration of the app. And yeah, so I guess I was gonna ask, like, I mean, the Rails 5 thing, it's like does this feel like the end of the woods? I mean, are you getting this set of errors in Cucumber and that's the main one, or there's like lots of other kinds of errors that we still haven't even worked out what they're related to?
No, I started with this one and I didn't keep looking into the other ones. So
yeah.
I don't know if it is everything related or if it is going to be.
Yes, and so that's the go on.
No, but if it is going to be more difficult, I mean, it doesn't matter. I want to mirror it. So.
Right. No, that's great. I think it's the danger, of course, working in a team as opposed to, as an individual, is that the longer that the thing that is kind of like outstanding as a pull request, the bigger sets of conflicts that you potentially get against the other sets of things that people are working.
No, but I will be doing merge with develop, pulling the changes, so that will keep it.
Yeah, that'll keep it working for you. But then, for example, for other there's still a risk of just when pull requests are open for long periods of time, even if you're updating to develop, there's someone else who's got a long running pull request. They're not syncing with each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it just. I mean, I think let's carry on. You've got enthusiasm for it, which is fantastic, and I would love to get the whole thing onto Rails 5. I mean, fantastic. I just, let's be aware of it may end up being like a real elephant, and sort of things that there might be. What might be interesting, depending on how far you get with the devise thing, is it might be easier to get a pull request in for a devise upgrade independently of the Rails 5 upgrade, depending on how many other things there are. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I wonder if we took like the Rails 4 and we upgraded the devise gem, that might be. I'm just thinking about what we're doing in website 1 with Dependabot, where we're upgrading all of the gems individually before we then go to Rails 5. And anyway, something to consider about. Maybe we'll see where we are next week in the local support meeting on Thursday, and maybe it'll all be finished. And if we're still stuck, then yeah, consider some alternatives.
Cool. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Yeah. Anything else we need to do? I think that's.
No, I'm good.
All right, great stuff. It was lovely to meet Alishan. Yeah, great to meet you. And we run these meetings every twice a day. You're always welcome to join anyone. Just listen in, or bring questions and concerns like Brent and NSV were doing there, and get things sorted out.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool.
Lovely to meet you. Bye for now. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.